When people talk about Mist of Pandaria, one thing always comes up: the dailies. The endless, soul-draining, sanity-breaking dailies that made Tier 14 one of the most infamous grinds in WoW's history. But here's the thing, in MoP Classic, that's not the case anymore. Thanks to Celestial Dungeons and a bunch of new quality of life changes, you can hit full raid-ready item level without ever touching a single daily quest. And today, I'm gonna show you how. So, let's get 6 feet under and dig in. The goal was simple: hit item level 480. That's more than enough to step into normal Mogashan vaults and just about perfect for Heart of Fear or Terrace of Endless Springs. Using only Celestial gear, no crafted BOEs, no rep gear, and absolutely no dailies, you can hit around item level 481. If you get Claxy and Shadowpan to Honored while leveling, you can push that to 483. And if you upgrade everything with Justice points, you're sitting at just above 491 item level. That's more than raid ready, and you did it without ever suffering through the great daily grind of 2012. This whole thing is for two kinds of players. First, new players, who've heard horror stories about dailies and rep grinds and figured MoP Classic isn't worth the pain. And second, alt enjoyers, like me, who already did it all once and swore to never ever touch another Golden Lotus daily again. This is for us, the emotionally scarred. Here's where I started gearing up. First, run the Arena of Annihilation scenario. It's quick, painless, and gives you a free 450 weapon just for showing up. After that, jump straight into the Celestial Dungeons. These drop gear between 476 and 483, including full Tier 4 set pieces, weapons, and trinkets. This is where the magic happens. Just by farming Celestial Dungeons and upgrading your pieces, you'll easily hit your target item level. No dailies, no reputation walls, just pure dungeon grind. This part is important, and easy to miss if you're only thinking about dungeons and vendor gear. The legendary Questline. Start it early. The Questline is mostly a time sink in steps, but a lot of the gating items you need can be completed while you're already doing dungeons and world content. Don't put it off. Sigils? You can get every one of them from dungeons, so the Celestial Dungeon runs you're already doing for gear will also net you the sigils you need for the legendary path. Double dip. Reputation. The Black Prince legendary path will want reputation steps. The new landfall areas are a blessing here. They can be farmed quick for massive rep. My method: run the intro quest to unlock your faction's daily quest hub, but we aren't touching any of those quests. Next, focus on the hyper-spawning PvE soldiers, but stick close to the rare spawn spots, as these are a great spot to farm just outside of either faction's enemy quest hub. These rares give big rep chunks. It's efficient, predictable, and far less soul-sapping than biting the daily bullet. Technically, you can get extra gear from Valor vendors, but you don't need to hammer dailies to reach Honored with the Claxy or Shadowpan. Leveling through the zones gives you enough rep to hit Honored without daily chains. Once you have Honored, you can buy a few pieces of Valor gear if you need it to push up your item level. Justice gear. Justice gear is available, but you'll outgrow it quickly. Tanks and maybe healers can buy a few slots if you think you need it, but for most specs, the Celestial buffs in Celestial Dungeons will do the heavy lifting early on. A few bonus avenues to squeeze extra eye level out of the process. World bosses. Shah of Anger drops a guaranteed quest for 476 boots for free, and you can start farming world bosses as early as level 85. Gold and crafted BOEs. If you've got money to burn, you can buy some BOEs, but don't buy anything under 483 unless you're buying for convenience or a very specific stat. Celestial pieces already compete with most crafted gear. Darkmoon Fair trinkets. Still some trinkets very strong for most specs. Events. Seasonal events drop solid gear. Right now, Brewfest has 489 trinkets, and Hollow's End always brings some cool loot. Keep an eye on the calendar. So, the big question. Do you need reps? For raids? No, not really. The only rep gating for major progression is the Black Prince path for the legendary questline. Keep in mind, some rare crafting recipes are locked behind the reps. The one dailies I would consider doing, not because it's gear critical, but because it pays off long term, are the tillers. Passive farming income can save you time and gold later on, but it's absolutely optional for immediate raid readiness. Remember, Tier 14 is the main offender for the old daily hellscape. After that, the game gets better. Thunder King introduces Shadowpan Assault Rep gained by raiding, no dailies required. Escalation adds new hubs and quests, but nothing that locks you out of raids. And Siege of Orgrimmar brings the Timeless Isle, basically a paradise of open world drops and almost no dailies. In short, the worst of the grind is front-loaded. Once you clear this tier, the rest of the cycle is much kinder. After running this from scratch, here's the final verdict. Yes, you can absolutely get raid ready in MoP Classic without doing a single daily. Celestial dungeons, world bosses, legendary steps taken smartly, and a few targeted vendor buys replace the old daily treadmill. You can actually play the game again. Gear up, raid, have fun. If dailies were the reason you stayed away from MoP Classic, this is a chance to give it another shot. Thanks for watching. I'm Deadman Fred, and if you're sick of Daily Quest 2, subscribe so we can suffer in the afterlife together.